So you want to learn everything. Why? Well, if you want to learn everything just because you want to know everything, then let me tell you that's not going to happen. But if you are going to learn everything just because you want to control most of the things in your life, then welcome to the club. At least that's why I want to know everything. Now, who am I to tell you that? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Arjun. I'm 26 years old now, and I haven't achieved anything. That's the price you gotta pay. You see all your peers and friends achieving something by this age, and you, nothing. And that thing stings to the core of the heart. Well, let's get real. If you really want to know everything, there are some methods like following a line of interest where there are these other branches of interest linked to the interest that you are interested in. So you just wander around Googling until you come a full circle back to your own original interest. You are into a particular subject, let's say it's the Python programming language. You are starting to learn it from the beginning, and you come across terms like loops, functions, modules, and some other shit, and then you realize, oh, modules, where have I heard of that before? And then if you know, then you know that SpaceX sends their astronauts in a rocket, which basically the upper part of the rocket is called a module, which is later connected to the ISS. So you now know, oh, that's what a module is. But in programming context, it's totally different, but it's the same concept. That's when you realize that, oh, the world is connected. We just see it in sense, which makes sense to us. Basically, the whole of world is connected, and we are just small pieces of a big, larger picture here. We just gotta see the patterns from all the different fields of life and put them together to really understand what's really going on. Basically, you have to learn stuffs of varying degree to identify systems which will further your cause and make you take better decisions. Better decisions, better results. That's it. Another method is to seek the first principles of the subject. Let's say you want to lose weight, so what's the first thing that comes to mind? You go to the gym, get enrolled, get all the nutrition and stuff, all the exercises which you have to be doing, and then you lose weight. But if you really think about it, it's just calorie deficit and some external stimulus to the body, and boom, weight loss done. So instead of going to the gym, you could just eat less, do some activity on a regular basis, effectively saving you time and money. But if you say, oh no, no, the gym gives me vibes and motivation to really get going, and then there are other people over there who do the same shit, and I feel like a sense of community, I get that. And good for you that you do that. But underneath all that, it's the same shit. You gotta do the same shit in the gym as you would have done at home. The crux of the matter is to know that with calorie deficit, you could just lose weight. And then, if you really think about it, you could just gain weight by being in a calorie surplus. And that really opens a whole new dimension of possibilities. And that's what seeking the first principle actually is. Know that the path to becoming the person who knows everything is a path filled with fear, anxiety, pressure, and whatnot, but also with constant dopamine rush when you realize that you have learned something new. That newness will evade eventually, and then you gotta decide if you really wanna go deep into that particular subject, and this loop keeps repeating forever. But remember, if you're just doing this, then you will always be an average person as you are just consuming. Ideally, you should apply whatever you have learned in any aspect of your life, or just produce some value out of it and do it multiple times. That's when you stick. You just do something. Man is ideally a generalist. It is the modern society which needs a specialist. This one quote really puts front the point of a primitive man. Like, you don't have to know a lot about something, but you have to know something about a lot of things. And then you say this modern world where it is filled with specialists of all kinds as is required, and they're also adept in a lot of other things in life. My point is, yeah, to survive in the modern age, you have to have one of the many skills that we have today, but also know that being a generalist is natural to us, and so is the urge to know everything. To know everything, you have to have a constant stream of curiosity, which you already have. That's why you are watching the video. Maybe you already know what and where to look for, but are just curious to know what's my point of view, and if you could get something out of this video that would be helpful in your journey to know everything. And that is exactly what I am hoping for as well. Trying to learn everything just to let others know that you are smart? No. Trying to learn everything just because you are curious enough to discover life as to be. Absolutely. Although there are certain situations in life where you absolutely have to assert dominance, as you should. Questions like what, where, when, why, how should always be in your mind to any and everything that you come across. So, yeah, if you want to learn everything just because you want to know everything, that's not happening. But if you want to learn everything because you are curious, because you want clarity, because you want control over your decisions, then absolutely. It's difficult, it's messy, it never really ends, and that's the entire point.